Hey there everybody, this is Robin with Creative2xmom, and today I'm going to be talking about homeschooling in the preschool years. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin and this is Creative2xmom. This channel is all about homeschooling, parenthood, and thriving in the day-to-day. And today's video is going to be about homeschooling in the preschool years. Now, a little bit of background about myself and our homeschool. I have a teaching credential. I have a bachelor's degree in English, and then I worked in the public school system for a handful of years. And after my little ones were born, I would take a lot of preschool substitute jobs because I could work around my husband's schedule, I could still be teaching, and we could still have somebody at home with the kids. And that was where I really learned that I love teaching those preschool years. Now, fast forward, going into our 11th year of homeschool, I have seen so much come and go in those preschool years, and such a trend happening right now that I want to warn you about. Now, this video came about because I was in a homeschool group on Facebook, and I started to notice this trend where parents were asking about curriculum. Curriculum for 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, sometimes even 2-year-olds. Moms being so excited about their homeschool journey that they were looking for curriculum for their 2-year-olds. And my heart just broke because all I could think about was these little ones being asked to do something that's just not developmentally appropriate. And I wanted to warn you, I feel like there are companies out there with good intention, but there are companies out there that are marketing toward these mothers who are excited about their homeschool journey, and really you do not need a preschool curriculum. To be completely honest, when I would step into a preschool classroom, so much of the learning and the interaction and just the thriving that was happening was because these kids were learning real life. They weren't sitting down and doing curriculum every day. They weren't sitting down and doing worksheets every day. In fact, the focused one-on-one teacher time was very, very minimal, and to the point where it was just such a natural flow of living and learning between the teachers and the students. And I found that to be absolutely true with my own 3. Now, my oldest did go to a public preschool. He did have that experience, but again, I even subbed in his classroom and got to see what was happening there. My daughter did 1 year of public preschool, and again, I got to see what was happening with her. And then my youngest came home and he did preschool here at home with me. So I have seen it from the teacher's side, I've seen it from the parent's side, and I've seen it from the homeschooler side. And let me tell you, it is a lot simpler than we were making it. A lot simpler than we were making it. And we are shelling out money for something that is not necessary. So let's talk to you about some of the things that I did with my kids. Now, I taught all 3 of my kids how to read, and I feel like that is one of those hurdles that is probably one of the biggest obstacles for homeschool moms, for new homeschool moms, is that fear of teaching your children to read. And every child reads at a different age. So for my kids, they were pretty young readers, but you might have a 1st grader or even a 2nd grader sometimes that are just picking up the concepts of reading, and that is still within the bounds of normal. So when I see these preschool moms going, oh, I've got to figure out this reading thing, take the pressure off. It's really not that big of a deal. It is possible, and I am more than happy to share what we did and to share with you what worked for our kids, but know that it's not a big deal if they go into kindergarten not reading. It's really, really okay. So once we've gotten that big monument of reading out of the way and kind of relaxed in that, what are we doing for preschool? Like, what is necessary? And I will tell you that a lot of things that we did in preschool were just repeated in kindergarten. they were just reinforced in kindergarten, if you will. There was more of the same. We talked about letters. We would read books and I'd ask my kids to point out letters. We would trace letters. We would use markers over letters, which was great when you're 4 years old. Your mom doesn't always let you use markers. We talked about letters all the time. We talked about letter sounds. We would do hunts throughout the house to find these different letters. It really can be as simple as that. I would go to the Dollar Tree and I would just kind of look around with fresh eyes and go, okay, pom-poms, what can we do with pom-poms? Little counting beads, what can we do with those? You would be amazed at the things that you can find for very, very inexpensive that you can repurpose over and over and over again. I'm telling you, it is amazing what you can find out there. And when you're first getting started, I think the biggest obstacle is ideas. Where am I going to get ideas from? What should I be doing with these kids? And really you start to realize it can be a little bit overwhelming to just get the ideas going. So there were a few books that we used, but even the books, I would say there's probably a handful that I went to again and again, got them all from the library. There's one that our library has since phased out, and I went to find it for a friend the other day. I found it for 10 bucks used on eBay. So really, you can do preschool very, very inexpensive. So much of it is life. And I know some people will say, well, preschool, like, you need to have socialization. Really? The socialization question is still around. My kids got so much socialization in preschool. We were going to story time, we were going to the pool, we were going to the park. They were interacting with my husband and myself and their siblings and their family that was in town. I took my kids everywhere because I just laugh, like some of the stuff like grocery pickup was not a thing when I was a preschool mom. They went with me. We would talk about boxes and colors and people, and we were interacting with the cashier and we were interacting with the other customers, and we would help people get things off the shelf. Socialization was just everywhere for my kids when they were in preschool, and I think that's the thing, is we just need to start interacting with our kids again. We need to be looking them in the eye and folding laundry together and talking about the bug that they found in the backyard and talking about the butterfly that just went by the window. It really is such a sweet, special, fun time of their development. It can be really, really amazing, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't need to be formal, and it doesn't need to be this super structured environment that we have all come to believe that it needs to be. So I would love to share with you more over the coming weeks some of the things that we did with our kids. I know that I have shared a few videos on this channel, but not a whole lot. So I will link the preschool videos that I have so far down below. But over the next couple weeks, I'm going to be making a series of videos like this one, just sharing with you some of the ideas and the concepts and just the fun that we had in preschool. Some of the resources that we used. Again, I tried to go very minimal and get as much from the library as I could. And make this very inexpensive for you, because it can be very simplistic. It doesn't need to be this big, overwhelming thing. And I want to show you how it can be done on a budget and how it doesn't need to be expensive. So stay tuned. Leave me a comment down below. Have you homeschooled preschool? Are you getting ready to homeschool preschool? What are some of your questions? I want this series of videos to be very beneficial for you as the viewer. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.